Welcome back to my channel, Celeb Buzz. Please share and subscribe and press the bell icon for new updates. Was there anything in all these years of working with him that would have made you think something like this was possible? We were co-workers, really. We weren't never socialized outside of Robin Wright, the beautiful actress from The Princess Bride, the strong woman behind Claire Underwood in House of Cards, the actress who changed from fairy tale princess to tough political character. But what if I told you that behind that perfect face and strong attitude, Wright had some really bad feelings against other actors? That's right, the woman who seemed to move easily between love stories and serious acting roles was actually fighting mean battles with some of Hollywood's biggest names, from leading men who put her down on set to other actresses who took her spotlight, from directors' favorites who got praise they didn't earn, to the worst betrayal that reportedly broke her trust in Hollywood partnerships. We're counting down the 6 actors Robin Wright reportedly hated most, and trust me, number 1 involves a co-star betrayal so bad it reportedly changed how she worked with every future partner. It's Kevin Costner. Coming in at number 6, we have Kevin Costner, and this fight was all about big egos, screen time, and who really deserved to be Hollywood royalty in the 1990s. The tension between Wright and Costner reportedly started when both were at the top of their careers during the early 90s, while Wright was making herself known as a serious, dramatic actress with movies like Forrest Gump. Costner was ruling the box office with his all-American hero image in movies like Dances with Wolves and The Bodyguard. People in the business claim the bad feelings began when both were thought about for a love story that ended up going to other actors during the casting process. Costner reportedly made comments about Wright being too dreamy for regular audiences, saying that her delicate beauty made her wrong for roles that needed emotional strength. But here's where it gets personal. Sources close to Wright said that she was mad about Costner's seeming dismissal of her dramatic abilities. She reportedly told friends that Costner represented everything wrong with Hollywood's leading man culture, calling him an okay actor who gets praised for basic confidence. The rivalry got worse when both were dealing with career changes in the late 90s. While Costner was struggling with box office failures, Wright was getting critical praise for more challenging roles. People in the business claim Wright felt proven right by Costner's declining popularity, reportedly telling friends in the business that audiences were finally realizing he was all looks, no talent. The most telling reported incident happened at a 1990s award ceremony where both representing backstage witnesses claim Wright made pointed comments about actors who mistake stiff acting for strong silent acting, remarks widely understood as directed at Costner's acting style. From Demi Moore at number 5, we have Demi Moore, and this rivalry was about beauty brains and who really deserved to be taken seriously as a dramatic actress in the 1990s. The bad feelings reportedly started when both Wright and Moore were being set up as the next generation of serious dramatic actresses, following their earlier work in more commercial movies. But while Wright was focusing on character-driven independent movies, Moore was demanding huge salaries for mainstream blockbusters. Some people in the business claim Wright disliked Moore's ability to use her beauty and celebrity status into record-breaking pay deals, especially her record-breaking salary for striptease. Wright reportedly felt that Moore was setting a dangerous example by putting money over artistic believability. But here's what made this personal. The tension got worse when both actresses were competing for similar roles that required both beauty and dramatic depth. Casting directors reportedly played them against each other, and Wright reportedly became frustrated when Moore would get roles based on her higher fame rather than her acting ability. The rivalry got worse during Moore's highly publicized relationship with Bruce Willis and later marriage drama. Sources close to Wright claimed she felt that Moore was using personal publicity to keep career importance, telling friends that Moore had turned her private life into a marketing plan. Meg Ryan, number 4, brings us to Meg Ryan. In this fight was about realness versus fake charm in the most brutal way possible. The tension between Wright and Ryan reportedly started during the height of Ryan's romantic comedy success in the late 1980s and early 1990s. While Wright was going after more serious dramatic roles, Ryan was becoming America's sweetheart through movies like When Harry Met Sally and Sleepless in Seattle. The people in the business claim Wright felt that Ryan's success was built on a carefully built fake personality rather than real acting ability. She reportedly told friends that Ryan had created a fake quirky girl character that had nothing to do with her real personality, and that audiences were being tricked by this fake charm. But here's where it gets really personal. The rivalry got worse when both actresses were thought about for roles that required mixing comedy and drama. Casting directors reportedly favored Ryan for her likable factor, while Wright was often seen as too serious or intense for lighter material. The breaking point supposedly came when Ryan made comments in interviews about how successful actresses needed to be relatable to audiences. Wright reportedly took this as a direct criticism of her own more quiet public personality and her preference for challenging, less easy to understand roles. The most telling reported incident happened during a script reading for a project that both actresses were thinking about. Witnesses claim Wright made pointed observations about performers who mistake habits for character development, comments that many understood as directed at Ryan's signature acting style. Julia Roberts. At number 3, we have Julia Roberts, and this rivalry was about who really deserved to be considered Hollywood's top leading lady. The bad feelings reportedly started when both Wright and Roberts came out as major stars around the same time, but with very different paths. While Roberts exploded into megastardom with Pretty Woman, Wright was building a more gradual reputation through diverse, challenging roles. People in the business claim Wright disliked the way Roberts was immediately shot up to A-list status based on one romantic comedy, while she had been working steadily for years without getting the same level of recognition or pay. Sources close to Wright said that she felt Roberts' success was lottery luck rather than earned achievement. But here's what made this rivalry especially bitter. Both actresses were often competing for the same high-profile dramatic roles throughout the 1990s. Casting directors would frequently choose Roberts based on her box office appeal, leaving Wright feeling that talent was being overshadowed by commercial considerations. The tension got worse when Roberts began getting critical praise for dramatic performances in movies like Aaron Brockovich. Wright reportedly felt that Roberts was getting praise for basic dramatic work, while her own more detailed performances in smaller movies were being overlooked by critics and audiences. The breaking point supposedly came when Roberts made comments about how successful actresses needed to connect with real people rather than just critics in the Business Insiders. Wright reportedly understood this as a dismissal of her own artistic choices and told friends that Roberts was appealing to the lowest common denominator. Gwyneth Paltrow. At number 2, we have Gwyneth Paltrow, and this fight was about privilege, showing off, and who really earned their place in Hollywood's elite circle. The rivalry reportedly started when both Wright and Paltrow were being set up as the next generation of serious dramatic actresses in the mid-1000s, 990s. But while Wright had worked her way up through television and smaller movies, Paltrow seemed to have a fast track to prestige projects through her family connections and high-profile relationships. People in the business claimed Wright was especially resentful of Paltrow's seemingly easy access to top-tier directors and prestigious roles. She reportedly told friends that Paltrow represented everything wrong with Hollywood: favoritism, calling her a rich girl playing dress-up in serious actress clothes. But here's where it gets really ugly. The tension got worse when Paltrow won the Academy Award for Shakespeare in Love in 1999. Wright reportedly felt that Paltrow's victory was the result of aggressive campaigning and business politics rather than superior performance, and that more deserving actresses had been overlooked. The rivalry got worse when Paltrow began making public statements about her lifestyle choices, wellness philosophy, and approach to balancing career and family. Sources close to Wright claim she found Paltrow's public personality unbearably pretentious, telling friends in the business that Paltrow was lecturing working mothers from her ivory tower of privilege. The breaking point supposedly came when Paltrow made comments about how successful actresses needed to maintain high standards in their project choices. Wright reportedly understood this as a criticism of actors who took roles for financial rather than artistic reasons. Kevin Spacey, was there anything in all these years of working with him that would have made you think something like this was possible? We were coworkers, really. We weren't never socialized outside of work. Disrespectful to me. So that's my personal experience. That's the only thing I feel the actor Robin Wright hated most was Kevin Spacey. And this betrayal was the most devastating because it destroyed both a work partnership and Wright's faith in working together with others. This is the shocker that changes everything we thought we knew about the praised political drama series. While audiences saw Frank and Claire Underwood as a perfectly matched power couple behind the scenes, Wright and Spacey reportedly had a bitter war for creative control and screen time that poisoned the entire production. The hate reportedly started during the early seasons when Wright began to realize that her character, Claire, was being written as second to Spacey's Frank. Despite her equal billing and supposedly equal importance to the show's central story, people in the business claim Wright felt that Spacey was using his executive producer status to make her role smaller and make his own screen time bigger. But here's where it gets really dark. Sources close to the production said that Spacey would reportedly undermine Wright's creative input during script meetings, dismiss her character development suggestions, and lobby writers to reduce Claire's storylines in favor of expanding Frank's political schemes. The breaking point supposedly came when Wright discovered that Spacey was being paid much more than she was, despite their equal billing and her increasingly central role in the show's success. When she demanded pay equality, Spacey reportedly tried to block her salary increase, arguing that Frank Underwood was the show's true main character. The most devastating reported betrayal involves Spacey's attempts to restructure the show's story focus. During later seasons, people in the business claim he lobbied Netflix executives to reduce Wright's role while positioning himself as the series' irreplaceable centerpiece, basically trying to write her out of her own show. So there you have it. Robin Wright's Hollywood journey came with brutal rivalries and devastating betrayals, from leading man dismissals to co-star power plays. Wright fought battles that nobody saw coming. Which fight shocked you most? Share your thoughts below and subscribe for more behind the scenes Hollywood drama.